actually a little sneak peek secret.
Ooh.
One of my new songs is
Broadcasting live on your FM dial. I want to introduce my guest that we have here in studio, local artist, independent pop, R&B, recording artist Neon Nash.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Neon Nash. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, thank you for being here tonight. We're going to get into one of your current singles. We're going to be getting into Chainsaw Bay.
I'ma dominate ya, driving you insane, ya. Keep it running like a chainsaw.
Everybody, that was Chainsaw Bay with Neon Nash, here to visit us at KQBH 101.5 FM. Before we get into this year, right, because you are a local Los Angeles independent recording artist, we're putting you in pop, R&B, rap.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Especially in a certain genre of rap called nerdcore.
Yes.
Right? And let's also not downplay that. You have been grinding hard, miss. Like, I know you shared with me, it's been about 2 years you've been really pushing with the music.
Yes.
A lot of people know you because of your cosplay and your TikTok and your YouTube origins and your comedy, right? Your comedy skits that involve that. Tell us who you are.
Sure. Anime, I've been watching anime since I was a little kid, growing up with like Toonami and stuff like that. So it was a very easy mesh of my two interests. Being a cosplayer for a while, that's sort of where I started my place on the internet, was doing like silly cosplay things. And then I have always had a dream of being a musician and of making my own music and performing. But I've always, ever since I was younger, I've had just crippling fear. Very, very scared to sing in front of people. I've had to really push myself out of my comfort zone to make that dream a reality. And 2 years ago was just sort of the breaking point for me. I was just like, I'm over it. I'm tired of being scared. And I'm a Leo. So it's like, so I really enjoy like pursuing my dreams. And it's also nice to see that I have inspired others by just telling that story, because I don't often show that I've been afraid to do things. I just sort of do it.
I don't think any of us are actually, or even think that's a thought. If we know you from your origins of doing the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't seem very shy or
Right.
unabashed.
I was able to hide behind the characters that I was cosplaying as, but now I can just be myself and make anime music.
One of the things I find interesting as you tell us that story is you've been spending so many years developing your talent. That's just what I find so fascinating. What really was that catalyst that made you go say, you know what, I'm going to just face this fear and pursue the talents that I've been secretly working on?
I think I just hit a wall, I guess, one day of just being like, I want to be a singer so bad. And I can't even sing in front of my own friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm over it. So I would even push myself to get on like Zoom calls with them and being like, can I please sing in front of you so I can just get over this fear? So that's when I started writing my own stuff. And that's when I made my first EP, Leo Energy. It's so funny because I look back on that project, even though I don't like it.
Really?
It wasn't what I imagined it to be, because I was just pushing myself to put something out, because I would write something and then I would be like, I hate it, I don't want to look at it, but I'll still make studio time. I'll still go in and record it, and I'm still going to put it out. And I was holding myself accountable by posting about it online. So I was like, I'm not just going to keep it in. I'm going to say, hey, I'm making music, expect to see this from me. And I held myself to that.
The fact that you said you have your particular outlook, but you also give it its merits. Why? But for me, Hypnotize You and Dreamphoria, for real,
I think everyone says that.
on that one. But
Yeah.
those two are definite highlights to that EP. You know, as an artist, you have every right, feel on a product. But just know that, we're gonna hold that one to you as one of your good ones.
Yeah.
And we're definitely
I'll take it.
We'll definitely be like, true for you, maybe true, but for us, in our reality, here's what it is.
Right. And I'm thankful for it being the starting point. And I also will give it another benefit of, I was very experimental with the way that I sort of tested out different genres, because I really enjoy rap. I listen to rap. I listen to like hip hop music. I always have. But I also like pop too. And I like R&B. So it's like, I'm thankful that I tried different things and pushed myself to just try different things and then like also publish them and not just keep them to myself.
And it's like you said, you were already developing this talent. Time was right? Timing.
Yeah, especially in that time when I was so unsure about what to do. I'll write something I won't practice it or anything, and I'll sing it for the first time in the studio. I've done that with every single track. And that's also why it gets progressively better, I think, throughout my like discography, is that I am finding more confidence and finding myself more with each time into the studio. I learn a new skill, and I get more comfortable. So I think that that's why I've been able to showcase more of myself, I think, as I'm also discovering it in real time. So
yeah. But I mean, that's just kind of everything that you guys all do, no matter the genre, right?
Right, yeah.
And you know what's cool about it is it allows us to be here alongside with you guys through that journey. You know, so we have all these cool social media platforms that at least have a shorter line that can get us to you in terms of what you do. Were those genres that you heard a lot in the house, or was that something that you learned to appreciate on your own?
I would say I found it on my own. Whatever catches my ear is something that I'm like interested in, and those three genres were always, stood out to me. BTS for me is probably my biggest musical influence. BTS's own discography, having like trap and like rap and hip hop, and then having like pop and then R&B as well. I think I just like followed suit with like how much I really liked the way that they meshed those genres, and I think that's just naturally how I picked it up too.
I think this is what I like what we're seeing in terms of the genres and the blending of the genres. We still can't underplay that you've been working so hard with all the music they've been putting out.
Oh yeah.
Just this weekend. Come on, it's just yesterday. Come on, One Piece.
Oh yeah, I love how that song turned out. I think each song I put out is my new favorite.
Yeah, and even the sounds that you're using. Let's look at some of the sounds that you're using. One Piece, I'm hearing. Am I wrong when I'm saying I'm hearing a lot of Spanish guitar?
Yes.
Under that one.
Like a siren, I'm gonna make you fall for me. With a kiss, the devil fruit is on my lips.
I know they all play into the theme that you're doing for each song.
Yep.
So like One Piece that we're listening to, obviously, whether we know you or not, One Piece we know where it's coming from. With the whole live action, it's a cool way to celebrate. But I am just saying, I love that you're putting it in there in the music for us to catch.
It's very intentional.
You're using the sound of pop culture in the whole use of nerdcore.
Yeah, I really try to like pair it like that and try to find like a beat that gives the vibe and the overall feeling of like when you're watching the show.
We've already made a name for yourself from TikTok and YouTube. That's what helped you really open up and find your voice. Is that correct?
Yes, and it's interesting too because I wasn't really aware of the nerdcore music space until the release of Chainsaw Bay. I was not aware of like the vast nerdcore community of like musicians that there are right now, which is crazy that it took so long to find, being as they have major platforms, which is really, really cool, and it's very inspiring to see the type of work that they're doing. And it's also interesting because things have come into play that I'm just sort of following naturally, the progression of everything. So being a cosplayer, going to convention, we regularly go to conventions, and just being in this space and being with these interests. And I'm like a lover of comedy. We do comedy skits, and like I say we, Oliver and I, now that I'm committed to making music, I think what drives me with each release is staying true to the show and staying true to what fans will appreciate. And not only that, but also making music that is for nerds and for fans of anime, but also for everyone. So I really strive to make music that can be appreciated by music lovers. And I'm a huge like writing nerd. I think any artist, any musician that loves writing music is also a writing nerd, because you try to hide little secret meanings and double entendres and all of that stuff, especially with rap. Being a writing nerd, rap has always stood out to me as like just so creative and difficult, and like the craft of it is just, it geeks me out. So on top of being an anime nerd, I'm also like, wow, rap, amazing. So it all just blends together. I just love writing. I love writing little secrets of anime and key things of an anime that you wouldn't get unless you're a fan. So a lyric can blow right over someone's head that doesn't know it, but a fan would be like, oh my God, love it. So it's stuff like that I, as an anime fan, I want to cater to anime fans, and then also just music lovers as well.
Did you or do you go through any sort of struggle or have to deal with some sort of ignorant comment on anyone who doesn't understand what it is that you're really doing?
I wouldn't say consistently.
Okay.
I mean, just being on the internet as a person, you can get, a hateful comment or two. But I will say the cosplay space in the cosplay community is very positive.
Yeah.
But if your videos on the internet get pushed somewhere where they are not understood, you might get a wave of hate. But it varies video by video, and you can't let that stuff get to you anyways. And I definitely don't.
So it's perfect. So at the point
Yeah.
where you are in your career and what you're starting to blossom into, you've already developed at least some sort of capabilities to deflect all that.
I think
that's good.
cosplay has helped with that, but that's great because now I make music and I don't care.
Do you think? Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm making music. I'm growing.
Yeah.
With it, whether you like it or not. I love the fact now at this point in your career that is something that you don't have to worry about, because always someone that's listening can at least, no matter where they're at and want to do what you do, no matter the space in which you've done what you do or what you still do in all these spaces of creativity that you have, at least someone hearing that will be like, okay, cool. I can maybe not let that be a thing.
Right.
For me. You pretty much got us into spring and summer, because, we also can't forget that there was Anime Girl Summer.
Oh, yeah.
It came out too. Sailor Moon this year, beginning of the year, which is a testament to, your credibility, why you've been featured in The Source and Shout Out and Voyage LA. People are picking up on what this nerdcore is. As an old nerd myself, really what's going on with nerdcore and what's kind of been going on with nerdcore in the sense of the genre of music here in hip-hop. It's another space where you women are going to dominate in terms of what we're going to be seeing in the next couple of decades from hip-hop, from an old nerd in terms of not just hip-hop, but in terms of an old nerd of just being into pop culture.
I mean, I think we've all seen that anime and nerdcore themes, different fandoms are becoming a lot more mainstream. Clothing brands picking up the IP, and even rappers and even like female rappers right now, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, using a lot of like anime references, and posting a lot about anime and cosplay especially. I hope that the mainstream can then be more accepting of like nerdcore rappers or just even artists in general. And I think there's a lot of talent in the space that could be where the breakout starts.
Talk to us about where we're at right now.
I really feel like I've just started, and I'm just starting to sort of find my pacing of like what works for me and what I like doing. And I think it does go back to just making the best song that does justice to whatever subject matter I choose. I think I'm gonna now start incorporating other like mediums, because I'm also really into video games. Actually, a little sneak peek. Secret. One of my new songs is gonna be a song for Genshin Impact, which is one of my favorite games.
All right on.
Yeah.
But I think that's okay though. I think that's okay for you to be able to step out and use all the nerd-centric properties that you love, because it's the whole point. And you kind of do in the Pink Castle one.
Yeah.
Right? You make your peach references.
Yeah, that was pretty much themed for Mario.
Yeah. I don't think I said it. I said it to you, but seriously, in terms of going to go back to the Sailor Moon song for this year, I'm put it out there in the universe. You definitely came out with the definitive like Sailor Moon love song that we can all use as a universal like
I love to hear that.
way to express our love for another person by utilizing Sailor Moon.
That was my intention for sure. That was the goal. I have a friend that's very, Sailor Moon super fan. So I was like, what can I make that would be like up to her standard of listening to? So yeah, I try to do that with every track.
No, I'm cool that you went in with that mentality of like how it could make a super fan happy. Because I listened to it, I'm like, this is like totally the ultimate like love song, like regardless if you're trying to just catch that Sailor Moon fan or just being a fan of Sailor Moon and just the love in general. That's like the song to dedicate.
That was the goal.
Right? Yeah, man. No, that's cool. That's cool.
Fall for me, baby, loving in the moonlight. My baby, yeah, you got me going crazy. Always keep me second guessing.
Before we really close, we got some support here sitting with us doing behind the scene things. I know we have Mr. Oliver here with us. I find as I talk to independent artists such as yourselves, it's always hear it, the support
Oliver's there to help me troubleshoot. He's coming up with the concepts. He's making all the cover art. He's booking the studio time to make sure I get everything out on time, listens to everything and make sure that it sounds 100% every time. So it wouldn't be made without Oliver. Everyone that knows us knows that for sure.
Well, no, we want to put it out there because, again, it's that support system that really gets a lot of, talent as yourself here. Keep with your craft. Don't stop.
For sure. It's enjoyable and it's fun. And I think that's, as long as I can be proud of what I make, I'm happy.
I'm grateful for you coming in.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. And, you're representing Los Angeles in such a big way. I just want to do whatever little I can do to make sure we can be heard. I want to get into attack
sure.
on bit. So you know what? Let's get into it, everybody. We're gonna sign off here. This is Patrick J. Martinez hanging out here with Neon Nash live KQBH 101.5 FM.
This is Neon Nash signing off for my first radio interview. See you next time.